And welcome back. Just sort of looking things over here tonight, and I've been toying with the idea of replacing a lot of, or perhaps all of the smooth stone in this building with some of the new stone bricks, but I haven't quite decided whether I want to go with plain stone bricks or cracked stone bricks or mossy stone bricks, all of which are relatively easy to get a hold of. It's just choosing which one to use and how much and where and so on. So still working on that. The farm is producing slowly, but it produces. Oh, I know I could go ahead and get out the bone meal and speed things up, and if I need to, I will. But I have another project in mind. And, well, first of all, I did really kind of want to do some exploration for this 100th episode. Maybe see if I could find a ravine or an NPC village or something. But honestly, right now, I am kind of really hesitant to go generating any more new chunks before 1.9 is released, which should be in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to put that off for the moment, and instead I have in mind to do a semi-automatic chicken farm, and this will produce eggs and raw chicken and feathers. And I think that's a pretty good thing to have, the way food has become so much more important these days, and especially since cows and pigs are becoming rather hard to find because it's so easy to hunt them into extinction. At least within a certain area of chunks, and they respawn so seldom now that this semi-automatic chicken thing sounds like a good idea. So I'm gonna head off to pick up the materials needed to do this with, and at the same time I can show a little something off. So I'll catch you when we get there. Well, you may recall that a few episodes ago I started working on a passive mob system, and I have been working on trying to make it work in spite of spawning changes in 1.8 and 1.8.1. And I started working on removing all of the grass from this very large area. 1.8 came along, and it appears at least that these passive mobs are now spawning on more than just grass. And so I changed my tactic, and I've not only been removing all of the grass, but I've been working on removing all of the exposed stone as well. Specifically, I've been working on flooding the area. A 350 by 350 area. And it's been a lot of work. I've gone through an enormous amount of TNT. Okay, let's arrange for a little bit of daylight here. Well, I've gone through a lot of diamonds. I'm not sure how many. I've lost count, somewhere around 70 or so. I have gone through 75 or 80 or more stacks of TNT, and I've lost track of that too. And this little portal shack has expanded a little bit, and so on. And where it used to be the easiest way to get from here over to the base, you'll recall it would be to go over a considerable amount of really rough terrain and then proceed across a cobblestone bridge that I built. Well, that is no longer the case. Now, the easiest way to get from here to the base is by boat. I have flooded a considerable amount of this area. About, I think, a little over a quarter of it so far. I've only cut it down to 1 block below sea level, so the water's only 1 block deep. But, as you can see, I've got a lot of it removed. A lot of everything covered with water. And it's going to be a considerably long job yet to go. There's still an enormous amount of material to remove. Let's see if I can do this without breaking the boat. How about that? I've had a little bit of practice of not breaking the boat. Alright, stop in here, pick up the materials we'll need for this. Let's see, I'm going to want to do this with sandstone. That should be more than enough, by a long ways actually. Going to need some redstone, so I'll grab a few stacks of that, and a stack of repeaters, and a stack of torches. Okay, let's see. And, of course, I'll need some eggs. I have to say that I have had some occasional, if rather sporadic, success. As I have more and more area covered with water, this thing actually comes on and starts working every now and then. And that's where all the eggs came from. Alright, now I'm going to head back to the 1.8 area because, honestly, that's where I want to build this. Although, frankly, I will probably build several more of them. I'll probably build one of these in each major area. But I'm going to build the first one out in the 1.8 area because that's where I'm going to be spending a large amount of time exploring and so on. So I'll catch up with you when I get back there. Alright. Now that we're back, go ahead and pick out a location for this thing. I'm going to have to do something about this water thing. That's the third time in a day or so that I've managed to walk right into it. And I think for a location, I'm just going to build it here. After I go inside and arrange for some daylight. I'll get the doors figured out eventually. Or I could sit there and play musical doors. I don't know. Alright. Yeah, I think this ought to be room enough. Alright, let's see. Now, this is not an original design of my own. I saw a video on YouTube about this, and I'll link that video in the description. And I took some notes and sketched a few things, and here's hoping that I can reproduce it. We'll see. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna need some planks because I need to make a piston, unless I've got one in here already. I don't see any piston. I'm gonna need some iron too. Well, that must be in the station. Alright, I'll get myself together here eventually. I'm not entirely up to things today because this lovely toothache migraine issue is revisiting me again, and that makes it hard to think straight when you're riding those painkillers. All right. Okay. Oh, beautiful placement. Put it right in the way. All right. I should have just made the doggone piston while I was in the shack there. It would have made more sense, don't you think? All right, let's see. Piston goes here. No, it doesn't. Alright, the piston goes there. And we'll need a solid block here. Oh, let's see. And let's see. Okay, water in here. And I could stand a pressure plate. And a half slab. Okay. That bit with the piston doesn't look right. Maybe because it isn't. Right idea, wrong placement. Alright, now what's going to drive this thing is a dispenser. Oh, good night. Oh, okay. I need to remember to make a new bow because I'm going to end up using it in the dispenser. No, that's not right. There we go. let's see. Alright. Oh, well, that was brilliant. I have to remember to go get some more water. I think I got that right. Alright, the repeaters go down here. With one of them set to a 2 delay. Okay. Redstone there. That block's not supposed to be there. Redstone here. Oh. I feel like an adventure and fail right now. But I'm going to give it a try anyhow. And if it bites really bad, I'll just delete the video and try to remake it. Alright. Yeah. Now the dispenser goes here. Yeah, I think so. Oh boy. Alright. I'll be right back. I need to actually unload a little bit of this crap and get a few things straight. Alright, I'm back. And I think I figured out where I went wrong here. And we'll see. So this needed to go over here. That needs to be broken, and redstone torch here. And if I've got this right, lever here. Alright, maybe I don't somehow. Or maybe it's not sufficiently complete yet. I don't know. But something doesn't strike me as right. Hold on a minute. I need to refer to my notes again. Now, let's see. Okay. Let's just try this again. Okay. And the clock is going. All right, good. That's the clock that will power or drive the dispenser. So the way it works is the dispenser will shoot out eggs. They'll hit this wall over there, and the way the eggs work is that when you throw an egg, or when a dispenser throws an egg, there's like a 1 in 8 chance that it will spawn a chicken. And when that happens, you end up with the chicken in here. Now, let's see. If I recall correctly, there and there and there. Okay. Get the circuit run around for the dispenser. No, not yet. We need another one here for the piston, because the piston is the option where you hit a second lever, which I need to make. The second lever powers the piston, and that activates crusher mode, which squashes the chickens, and you get, in addition to the eggs, you get the meat and the feathers. Alright, and okay, let me get up here where I can get the right angle. And you use repeaters here because a pair of repeaters like this apparently does not get the power in from that. And now, let's see, redstone. Yeah, no. I'm probably making a mess of this thing, but we'll see. Alright, now if I have this right, this second lever will operate the piston. Yes, it does. And this one, we need to run it around so that the dispenser is powered by it. Okay. And I believe for that we output the clock. Not there. There. And this has to be run around like this to avoid having it interfere with the piston, because the piston pulsing like this would be a bad thing. Okay, run this around here. Obviously that's not good, because it started the piston going. Okay, I don't remember how it was done in the original video, but I think I know a way to get it done here. Just run it around the long way. Yes. Okay. Turn the annoying clicky thing off for a moment and load the dispenser. Alright. And now I'm going to take a quick break to gather some more daylight, and we'll finish this thing up, I hope. Alright. Oops. Okay. I think replacing that piece with some glass would be a good idea. There. Alright, now it needs some fine touches here, like that and that, and an actual enclosure for the guts, but for the time being this will do. Now, the way we work this is the dispenser is loaded with eggs, so we start the clock going and the dispenser starts shooting out chickens, or trying to. The idea is that eventually one of them will result in a chicken. Hopefully it will soon. I don't have any more eggs than that. I'll put another piece of glass in here. Alright. Occurred to me that I didn't quite finish this. Okay, fine. I went and put the rest of the sandstone away and shouldn't have. Wait a minute. I forgot to retract the piston. Oh, can you tell I'm having a banner day? Okay, that's more like it. Do need to finish the enclosure. And according to the video that I'm basing this off of, this one side needs to be open to prevent the chickens from just suffocating right in there before they have a chance to do any egg legging or anything. Alright. So And the thing with the pressure plate, not only does it stop the water, but also you can wire that up to an indicator light to let you know when you've got something sitting there. So let's turn this thing on again. Okay, we have chicken. There's 2 chickens. Okay, go ahead and stop that noisy thing. And we've now got a bunch of chickens in here that will do what chickens do. They will lay eggs. And the eggs will fall into the water and flow down here to the pressure plate. And then I will pick those eggs up. Oh, crap. That's what I forgot. Now I've got an escaped chicken. And he'll probably go report to a creeper. They do that. Okay. Now, chickens will do their thing. They will lay eggs. The eggs will go through the water stream and end up down here. I will pick up the first several of them, the first several dozen or so, and put them in here. And then when I decide that I've had enough of listening to chickens cluck and splash, I will hit the second lever, which will activate the piston and squash the chickens. So that's pretty much it right there. I know I've made a mess of this design, but it seems to be working, so I'm going to call that a win in spite of myself. And now I'm going to pretty much sit here and watch this thing for a while, and I'll check back in when there are eggs. And welcome back. As you can see, things have changed just a little bit here. Since I stopped the last recording, of the last segment, well, let's see, about roughly 8 hours or so have passed real time. And very soon after stopping that recording, I noticed that I had a flaw in what I had built. The design was good, but my execution of it kind of sucked because I guess I wasn't thinking very clearly with the painkiller and so on. But basically, there was a solid block here, I believe it was, right there, that needed to not be there, and this block wasn't there, if I recall correctly. And so I had to fix it. I broke a few blocks to fix it. Several chickens escaped, and I had to chase them down and kill them. And then I got this thing fixed and working. By the time I did that, however, there was only one chicken remaining in it. And so I went ahead and ran the dispenser to empty out the remaining eggs that I had in there. And they didn't yield any new chickens at the time. So I took my resources here and I built a quick and dirty, very quick, very dirty, very ugly shelter around the front of this thing. And I parked right here and went to sleep for a couple of hours. And after about 2 hours, I think it was, I had collected 34 eggs. And near as I can tell, roughly speaking, every 10 to 15 minutes is how long it was taking that chicken to lay an egg. So I took the 34 eggs that I had then. I think this was roughly around 5:30 this morning. And I put that 34 eggs in a dispenser and ran it. That got me up to what you see in here, which I think is about 8 to 10 chickens. From 5:30 this morning until right now, which is 9:53, I ended up gathering quite a bit of eggs, getting one every 2 to 3 minutes this way. As a matter of fact, my inventory is now full. So I had gone in to get a chest to store them in. And before I store them in the chest, I'm going to go ahead and fill the dispenser. I also took some time, and after several failures and screwing this thing up really bad, I did manage to get the pressure plate hooked up to the indicator light. Well, I'm not actually sure right now, so let's just open this mess up and see. Okay, there's nothing down there. Let's drop an egg down there. No, the indicator light is not working. I failed miserably in a lot of the construction of this thing. I strongly advise that if you're looking for an actual tutorial for how to build it, that you check out the link in the description to the video that I got this design from. Okay, I need to put an inverter on that, and then the signal will actually be right, which is what I thought I had done. So I'll just break this, bring the redstone back one more, and put a block here, break that, put a block there, bring the redstone up the back of this, break that, and I should be able to put a torch here, which will invert the signal. Looks like it's working. Light is on. There's something on the pressure plate. Grab that off of there. The light goes off. Okay, good. Now that's finally working right. So that will serve as an indicator for when there's something on the thing. Now, what I'm going to do is, now that I have a full dispenser of eggs and considerably more in my inventory, which I'm going to go ahead and put away here. There. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear this mess down and build something a little better looking, well, a lot better looking, and so on, in front of this thing. And I'm also going to build enough of a structure around the back of this thing so that it is enclosed and contained. And then, of course, there is the final thing about this design. You have this switch that you turn on when you want to start the dispenser running to shoot eggs out and spawn chickens. Once you have collected enough eggs, and or you've simply gotten tired of listening to chickens clucking, you turn this switch on, which activates the piston. And then nothing happens. Oh boy. What have I done wrong this time? Oh boy. Taking another look now. I have chickens loose everywhere. What happened? They got out through this thing. Now I remember there being mentioned that the chickens weren't supposed to. They wouldn't come out through here. So obviously they did. Alright, let's see if I can fail my way to success again. I seem to do things that way a lot. Oh boy. Alright. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a few minutes to kill all those chickens and get this thing working again and continue my operation of fail to succeed. Be right back. Alright, now that I've chased down and eliminated all the escaped chickens, I had another look at this and I figured out what I did wrong. The block that was here, I removed it, and there was no block in front of the piston. Like so. And there needed to be one there. And let me look here. Yes, I think there needs to be one here as well to prevent chicken escapes. And so we'll just bring this up here. Oh, we have one that got away. Satisfying sound if ever there was one. Okay, I'll pick up their remains in a moment. Alright, now that the piston actually has a block to push, put that back there. And I don't know, this open space here strikes me as wrong, but the person who did the tutorial did say that it had to be open, otherwise the chickens would frequently suffocate on spawning when the egg generator was running. The dispenser, anyway. Okay, and so to activate the crusher, flip this switch down. Okay, now flip it back up. And we fail again. Oh, of course. That needs to be a sticky piston. Allow me to correct my so obvious mistake. And I'm back. After searching through the entire local estate here, I have found no slime balls at all. So I got on the track and headed back to the main base to pick up some slime balls. And I decided that I wasn't going to make a 900 block trip just for one slime ball, so I picked up a whole stack. And now go ahead and fix the fact that this needs to be a sticky piston. I don't know why that never occurred to me, but it didn't. All I can say is I'm blaming the painkiller. Alright, now let's go ahead and I also picked up a bunch of sand to go ahead and make up some more sandstone so that I could actually finish this thing in the design that it was made with. Alright. I still have doubts about this opening being necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it for now. Now well, first I'm going to replace the glass I broke. Now I'll start the dispenser going and generate at least one chicken. There we go. Okay, we have a chicken, and as I started to say earlier, once you've reached the point where you've collected enough eggs and you've refilled the dispenser and you've collected more in the chest there, and or you've just gotten tired of hearing the chicken making all its noise, you reach over here and hit the crusher lever. And it takes care of the chicken, and you get the feather and the meat. Now, if you leave the dispenser going long enough to generate 10 or 15 chickens, this thing will actually produce eggs at a decent pace. And of course, then when you hit the crusher, you will get 10 or 15 raw chickens, which you can then cook and have a decent supply of a good food supply. And as I said, I did not come up with this design originally. I found a YouTube video that had a tutorial for it, and as you can see, I have failed my way to success with it. It now works. It does what it's supposed to. I'm going to tear all this crap off of this thing and build something of a real building around it with an actual door and some windows and so on and so forth, and make it look like something that was actually intended to be here. And I'm going to go ahead and do most of that off camera after I finish up with this video. While I did not invent the thing, I have come up with a name for it. I dubbed this the Cluckomatic, because it is pretty much that. You get the chickens going and you hear the clucking for however long you choose to allow them to exist. But once you've... Now, the hard part of this is coming up with the eggs to start it with. You need enough eggs so that when you load the dispenser, you get at least one chicken. And then it requires just spending some AFK time right here, collecting enough eggs to fill the dispenser, and then generating a lot more chickens. Let's see, how much is in there right now? Alright, I think I can add a little bit more to that. Go ahead and fill it. Make sure it's full. Okay, it's full. I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing on and generate a bunch of chickens. In fact, I think I'm going to be extreme and empty the dispenser and create as many chickens as it will allow. And then I'm going to let it run long enough to fill the dispenser, to refill it with chickens, with eggs. And fill it with chickens, good. Refill it with eggs and generate a lot of chicken meat. And in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish the structure and make it look like something that was actually intended to be Let's back away from this noisy thing a little bit. And that's going to be about it. I think the Cluck-O-Matic is, in spite of my miserable presentation of it because of toothache and migraine pain and painkillers, it's going to be a pretty good thing with 1.8. I think that pretty much any home base area will be considered incomplete without a Cluck-O-Matic. Alright, I'm going to stop this recording before I manage to fail miserably at something else again, and go ahead and get this thing finished. And so, take it easy. I'm out of here.